Hey everyone, it's Jenny at jccards.com and I'm here to show you 3 cards today using a technique that uses Faber-Castell's gel medium, although any gel medium would work for this, to create amazing dimensional glitter backgrounds with microfine glitter and stencils. So these are the stencils I'm using today. There's 2 from Couture Creations, Flourished and Bohemian BAZAAR, and I'm also using the nested Hexagons stencil from Neat and Tangled. You can obviously use any of your favourite stencils. For the rest of the project you'll need a selection of glitter. I'm using microfine glitter as it adheres better, gel medium, a palette knife and some cardstock. To start, I'm adhering down the cardstock and then the stencil over the top with some masking tape onto a piece of paper. You could use a craft mat or any surface. I'm then applying the gel medium in the exact same way that you'd apply an embossing paste or glitter gel. It's kind of like a thick gloopy glue and it applies really easily, and once you've applied it you can just carefully lift off your stencil. Before the gel medium dries, you'll want to sprinkle on your glitter. As I say, I'm using microfine glitter. This is Nuvo Sparkle Dust in Rose, which is a super fine glitter. It goes everywhere. You will need Swiffer cloths after you finish making these cards to clean up. And I'm just sprinkling it liberally without any rhyme or reason over the gel medium using a Nuvo craft spoon. You could use your fingers. I just was trying to be slightly less messy. I'm also using a complementary Glitter Ritz glitter in a similar colour. I think Glitter Ritz might be discontinued. I've linked to some similar colours from Elizabeth Craft Designs in the video description, but it is a very similar type of glitter. Now obviously if you plan this out much better than I did, you could actually use your spoon to be very careful and direct the glitter where you want to on the pattern of the stencil, creating patterns. So for example you could do different colours depending on the shape of the stencil, but I just kind of threw it around randomly, and what was really nice is it blended together on the gel, and you can see it here in the card that I've just shown. For this one I'm using some dark pink cardstock by Simon Says Stamp, and to contrast with that I'm using some aqua and navy Glitter Ritz glitter. There are 2 very similar colours also by Elizabeth Craft Designs which I've linked to, and again I'm sort of throwing it on there. Had I planned this out, I probably would have tried to do some sort of ombre look with a lighter colour in the middle going out to a dark colour towards the edges, and it's definitely something I'm going to be trying again in the future because these techniques worked really well, as you'll see. Unfortunately there is quite a lot of glitter wastage, but don't worry, what you can do is, although you've got blended colours, you can save those in a spare pot and use that mix for future projects. If you do find that there are areas that didn't get any glitter on them when you lift up your project and shake it off, you can simply go back in with a spoon or your fingers and re-add glitter until it's all fully covered, and then just set it aside to dry. Don't worry too much at this point. If there is excess glitter in and around some of the shapes, we can sort that out once the product is dried. Now you will notice for the first 2 projects I'd already die cut the cardstock using a stitched rectangle die before I applied the gel medium. That's because I didn't want to run the risk of putting through the dried gel medium that had the glitter on it through my die cutting machine and losing some of the dimension the gel medium created. So my recommendation is, if you are going to die cut any panel for this, do that first. For this last card I'm using the Neat and Tangled nested hexagon stencil, and unfortunately I accidentally applied the glitter before I lifted up the stencil. It actually did turn out okay in the end, but it was quite a bit of a mess to clean up, so I don't recommend it. After the medium had dried, this is what you end up with. There is quite a lot of warping on the thinner cardstock, but you'll see that when we apply the panel to a card base, which I've done here using craft foam, actually it flattens out really well. Now you'll see with the Nuvo glitter and the Glitter Ritz glitter, there's nothing that comes off onto my fingers. However, with the dry Stickles glitter, it does come off a bit. So I would recommend testing it out first, if in doubt, use a fixative such as Krylon's fixative at the end to set the piece so you don't have glitter rubbing off. What I do recommend with the dried pieces is going over the pattern with your fingers to brush off any of the excess. It won't, in the cases of the Nuvo and the Glitterits, rub the glitter off the gel medium. To finish the cards, I'm not going to focus too much on what I did here. I used a variety of die cuts and sentiments just to finish off the cards and really let the background pattern take centre stage. So here I was originally heat embossing the Stained Glass Love Sentiments by Simon Says Stamp, but I ended up only using one of them. And that was the one that was heat embossed in a navy metallic embossing powder by Simon Says Stamp, which I die cut and adhered with foam tape to the front of the next nesting hexagons panel. For the other two items, I used a sentiment by My Favourite Things, heat embossed in white on black cardstock and trimmed out, and also a die cut Hugs from Tonic brushed rose cardstock backed with fun foam and adhered using liquid glue to the front of the card. And that finishes them. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Have a fantastic day. Bye.